the most epic thing ever.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, good morning, everybody, or afternoon. My name is Xavier Yao, and today I'm going to explain to you how to make Michael Yao undoubtedly fall in love with you. Now, the materials you'll need for this are an excessive wardrobe with very elegant clothing that will make you look good, make sure it flatters you. Musical knowledge, not necessarily how to play any instruments, but more like musical knowledge as far as songs, names, artists, and so on and so forth go. And not to be towards sweat, because let's face it, you're going to fall in love with Michael, you're going to have to deal with these. A Facebook account, unlimited texting, the Meg Ryan mindset, which in case some of you don't know, is basically the idea that you are the lead female in a romantic comedy, and a string quartet of violins and such. Now, part one, the meeting. Now, to prepare for this, you need to have Michael's friends take him to a dance, somewhere in public where he can become his goofy self and just completely let go. Now, when you do that, avoid Michael, but then go to the DJ and request one of the following songs. Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King, or You're Beautiful by James Blunt. But just a warning on You're Beautiful, be sure that Michael hasn't been acting a little bit weird while he's at the dance, otherwise You're Beautiful will emotionally traumatize him. So, once you get that all those songs playing, you have to wait for Michael's emotional response. Now, signs of this emotional response, symptoms may include staring off into space for long periods of time, kind of a fake laugh and it kind of fades off quickly, trying to fit in like a uncontrollable crying, or looking up and silently moving your lips, such as cursing the heavens for being single or something like that. No one is quite sure what it means. Now, once you see one or more of these symptoms, now it's time to make your move. Ascertain that you look attractive. I'm not saying look slutty, but make sure you can look into the mirror and say, you look good, girl. Just be able to flatter yourself. So, make sure you get into his exact line of sight, because he usually has to dance the first person that he sees. Make sure you're about exactly 10 feet away, because if you're any closer to him, then suddenly you seem like a desperate creeper. And any further away, and then he doesn't even see you, and you completely fail. Now, if you're played correctly, Michael will say, hey, do you want to dance? Or something classy, because that's what he does. Now, while you're dancing, you're going to be talking about certain things. Now, for this conversation, some things you should not mention. Your annoying little brother, that just makes you seem immature. Current and ex-love interest, because let's face it, this early in the game, if you're like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, or the guy I've been chasing for years, then it's basically a no-go for you. Michael's sweating disorder, as I said once again, because he's very insecure. Yes, he's very insecure about his tacos. Lack of hobbies / dumb hobbies, which includes, yeah, I like sleeping, hanging out with friends, just about anything. Because it's really unoriginal, just gives you no personality, and let's face it, nobody likes anyone with no personality. Inside jokes, like things that at the end of the story you'd have to be like, it'd be funnier if you were there, but it was really funny to me, because that just makes Michael feel out of the loop. Anything involving Justin Bieber, that's good. And the newest episode of Secret Life of the American Teenager, Teenage Mom, Sarah Palin's Alaska, John's Baseball Fake. I guess it's just K-pop that you start, John. But these are just bad things that will make you completely fail. Now, things that you could mention. Love for Macy Gray. He has a weird, strange love for Macy Gray. It's a little bit creepy. The Jitterbug commercial, you will just start singing away at that. I mean, you'll have to put up with his singing, but it's okay. And if Jitterbug doesn't come up, then at least bring up Life Alert commercial. His superficiality, because Michael does not believe he's quite as attractive as he really is. Desire for children, because let's face it, Michael's goal in life is to reproduce. Anything of the shiny nature, because he gets distracted. If by chance, you're top, you suddenly go, no! then he is completely attracted to you, and the existence of Sasquatch Yeti, so on and so forth. Now, if it's unsuccessful, if by chance you fail at this, he's going to give you a quick thank you and dash off to tell his friends about the weirdo he just danced with. But if it is successful, he won't mind that the song We Like to Party just came on. He will linger for about 10 seconds and then give you a quiet, thanks for the dance. Kind of seem like a shy little schoolboy, which is good. Because if that happens, you're in. Keeping in touch. Now, none of you need to worry about distance because, let's face it, distance is not Michael's good point. He doesn't understand north, south, 10 miles to 100 miles. And also because Facebook exists. So you need to add Michael on Facebook and start frequent chats. Don't just be the the type of friend that, like, you see a status update and like it every once in a while because that just makes you boring. Now, some tips for Facebook. Along with the tip for conversation, avoid obnoxious text language because he really doesn't understand it. He'll type in complete full sentences and punctuation and everything. When he asks what you're doing, be seductive but not unrealistic. For instance, if you said, yeah, I'm in my old cheerleading uniform watching Star Wars, then that's way too good to be true. But if by chance he's just like, if you're just like, oh, just got out of the shower now getting dressed, that's perfect. You don't have conversations with LOL, smiley face, or ... because he has no idea how to respond to that. And then casually get to know him. Just start talking to him, learn about this magical being that is Michael Yao. Eventually, ask for his number, because he will not ask you for your number because he's just a shy little boy. That is amazing. Now, part 3, down and dirty. Now that you have his number, you're on the clock 24/7. He can text you anytime, day or night. Now, when you start asking and answering more questions, now's the time to elaborate more. Let him know about you. Show him yourself. Not like that. But eventually you're going to ask concerning your love life. And this could be in one of 2 ways. The first way is sarcastic, kind of like, hey, so how's your knight in shining armor? Or he's just going to kind of blatantly put up, so, how's your love life? He's not very original. Now, if you need to have an alibi for your love life, and here are your main choices. You just broke up with your disloyal ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't all that great in the beginning, and then he stopped making out with that cheerleader, and now things are awkward. I never thought about it, which he has seen Hitch, so he will understand what that means. Or you're looking for the perfect person. Now, this is the most successful option, but you must be a good actress. Otherwise, you just sound like a desperate creep boy, and that is never, ever good. He's had bad experiences in the past with creepers. Now, this is going to spark your kind of heart-to-heart conversation, and eventually, that'll put you into the I think I like you stage. That part 4, I think I like you. Keep it going. You're now his fresh blood. He's your Edward, you're his Bella, and now he's wanting to feast upon your flesh in completely normal ways. Now, you are flossing in the fields of friendship, and his skin is shining. Now, you need to start asking for small favors, such as nothing too big, like, hey, could you go to the store and get this for me? Just ask, like, do you want to ask this person something? Could you ask for a favor? And, you know, eventually, just keep on asking these. And then he'll give you 3 words, anything for you. Now, when he says anything for you, and he'll usually have a smiley face after it, because that's what he does, it means this is an unofficial victory. I mean, his heart is fully, completely set on you. Now, after this, you need to wait 3 days, because if you go any sooner, then it'll feel like, oh, wow, she's kind of creepy. And if you wait any further, the feelings will just kind of die and be stuck into this giant heart of it. Then hit him with the situation. Part 5, the situation. Now, you need to begin to pull your heart out. Make sure it's in the evening time when he's had a long day. And then just start telling him what happened. Basically, you've been holding your heart out for this guy. You haven't really told anybody about it. And you really thought you two had a chance, but since nobody knew about it, you just started a relationship with your best friend. I know, she is awful. And then there's nowhere else to go but this new friend that somehow understood him perfectly. Now, if everything has gone successful, he will start giving you this, like, comforting speech of, you know, using, like, soothing words such as, you're amazing. He doesn't deserve you. You can do so much better. Don't worry. It'll all be all right, babe. Anything like that. And then you need to tell him that he is amazing after that. Arouse this confession out of him. Yes, I used the word arouse, Kristen, okay? Yeah, I see you laughing. Now, if you're successful with this, then his confession of love will follow. But basically, which brings the black part. Bring the ship in. Yes, I am a ship. So, tell him that you want to wait. I mean, you want to tell him that you don't want him to be a rebound, and that you really hope that this could get you somewhere. After that, you need to wait 2 weeks exactly, for the same reason as the 3 days thing, where any sooner will make him feel like he is a rebound, and that you're just desperate for some guy, for some hot hunk. And any further away will make him feel like just talking. So then you need to schedule dinner with them. It could be anywhere, as long as there are multiple booths that a string quartet could hide in. Now you need to get your string quartet and hide them for the occasion. Make sure that when they have, like, no matter how formal their clothing may be, they have a trench coat over him. So when you're at the restaurant, I'm assuming it's Applebee's because I love Applebee's. You need to reminisce on your journey of how it all has started from a dance and now suddenly you feel something more for him ever. As the food comes, you need to signal the string quartet, so jump up, rip the trench coats off, and then start playing the song from the first meeting. And then you need to lift the words to him. Okay? Make sure it is as romantic as possible, otherwise it'll just make you seem really weird. So, I think if you do that, then reap the reward of his response. I'm undoubtedly in love with you. Thank you very much.
I'm not going after that.
Yeah.